Good morning, guys. Welcome back to B&B Farms, where our goal is to try and live with our land and not just on it. We're down at the sawmill today, our Woodland Mills HM126. We've got a little milling project I'd like to get knocked out. I think I mentioned in a previous video that one of the projects we're going to be working on this year is a chicken coop. We're going to try our hand at just raising just a handful of chickens. And the plans for this chicken coop require some treated lumber. And rather than go buy it, we have some leftover utility poles from a project that we milled for our elevated deer stand. I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video. You can check that out. It's a very, very popular video for us. But we've got these utility poles. We're going to get them on the mill, and we're going to mill some 2x4s and some 4x4s. So let me turn you around and show them to you. All right, there they are, guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. One right there is 5. You can see that they've still got some wire in them. You know, here's some over here. So all that's got to come off. And they naturally are behind some other logs we have to move first. We've got some aspen that just need to be thrown away. Another big aspen right here that I'm kind of earmarked for possibly some board and batten siding, so we'll hang on to that. And then there's a hickory log behind that with a big dog leg in it. It needs to be cut up for firewood. So let's get the LS tractor out here with the pallet forks, get these logs moved, get some of these utility poles up in the air where we can get this wire off of them, and we'll get started. Thanks, guys. We're glad you're here. And that right there is why we need a grapple. Oh, that one's heavy. See if we can get both of these. Well, I think that illustrates a couple things right off the bat. Number one, we need to get third function on this LS tractor and maybe look into getting a grapple. Number two, we need a ballast box for the rear. I've got that grader box on there, but you saw how light it got in the rear with both those logs on the forks. So yeah, we could use some more weight. Now, onto this utility pole. So there it is. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it's going to be the butt end. Yep, sure enough, there's the tag on the end. This is the end that was in the ground. Or if I can roll that a little bit. Yeah, maybe. I don't see any wire on this one, But we'll put this camera down and take a lot closer look. What I want you to see, roll it back there. What I want you to see is the difference in this utility pole. You see how light it is up here and how dark it gets, you know, right down there at the base. The way I understand it, this is the preservative, the treatment, whether it be, you know, old school creosote or even some modern treatments. As this pole stands upright for many, many years, that treatment migrates, you know, through gravity and kind of tends to concentrate down in the butt end of the pole. I said before that this is not our first attempt at milling utility poles. And while it went okay, generally, the last time we did it, we did run into a problem on the butt end of these poles. They tend to bind the blade. I think it's due to the fact that we need to up our lubricant flow, and possibly that preservative, whatever it is that happens to be in that pole, when it runs down into the bottom of that pole and builds up down there, it grabs the blade. It's sticky. And as the blade travels through the cut, of course, it warms up, it gets heat, and that makes it even worse. So we actually lost 2 blades trying to mill utility poles last time we did it. Not due to metal, which is what most people think, but due to the fact that they just bound up in the wood. But I've got a plan for that this time, so once we get it on the mill, I'll show you what I'm going to do. We've got our first utility pole on the mill. This is a 12-foot section. It's about 8 to 8.5 inches on each end, not a whole lot of taper in it. I think to get the maximum amount of yield, we're just going to take some really light skim cuts. For this chicken coop, we need a mixture of, like I said before, 4x4s and 2x4s. So we're going to try to get as much out of each piece or each section of pole as we can. So we'll make some really light cuts through this. There is something over here that I want to show you guys. Let me bring you in a little closer. You guys see that black plug right there in this pole? Remember, this is the base of the pole that was in the ground, so this would have been, oh, you know, a couple feet out of the ground. I think, from what I have read and what I have been told, that's where they put something in this pole to either kill insects or to help with, you know, decay. But whatever's in there is nasty. So yeah, we're going to take a lot of precautions with this. I'm going to be wearing long sleeves when I mill this pole. I've also probably going to turn the fan on. I'll show you that here in a minute. There's a very strong wind coming through this sawmill shed today, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to have some eye protection. But yeah, if you're going to be milling utility poles, you probably ought to be wearing some sort of respirator or at least a dust mask. But yeah, they're nothing to mess with. Nothing to mess with, so you guys be careful. Open our lubricant. We're going to run a heavy stream of lubricant on this. You know, I mentioned earlier that when we milled these last time, we had a problem with we actually broke 2 blades that bound up in the cut. So my solution, or hopefully my solution this time, is right here. We're going to put wedges in behind the blade as we mill through this utility pole. These are just plastic, I don't know, some kind of, you know, man-made material. We're just going to drive those in the cut, try to reduce the friction on the blade, and hopefully that'll let us get through this. Here we go. take a look at it. It is pretty. Beautiful lumber. All right, we'll flip that 180 degrees and make a couple more cuts. Some of you are probably wondering why I kept turning those boards 90 degrees and 180 degrees and taking those little skim cuts. It's because I'm actually cutting two sizes. How do I say that? Two sizes at the same time. I'm cutting a 3.5 and an 1.5 inches. Yeah, at the same time. let me show you what I mean. So this is what we were left with after that last cut you just saw. I've got some scrap piece there, another scrap piece here. But then what I'm left with is a 2x4 that direction, a 2x4 the same direction there, so there's two, a 2x4 up top here, turn the other direction, and my 4x4. So I've got 3 12-foot 2x4s and 1 12-foot 4x4. And that's why I kept flip-flopping in every which direction. Normally, the Woodland Mills log scales, if you're cutting the same size time after time, you can just zip right through it. But I don't think real fast, so I'm having to compute all these cuts and thinking like, okay, this 2x4 is going to be turned on this edge, or this next 2x4 is going to be turned on this edge. How do I make all that come out? That's why I did that. This looks like a great time to take a quick break, drink some Red Diamond Sweet Iced Tea, and give a shout out to another YouTube channel that we like to watch here at B&B Farms, and that's Neighborly Homestead. Tim and Sarah are raising kids, cutting and splitting firewood, making maple syrup, and generally living the homestead life. Head on over there, check that channel out, subscribe to it, tell them B&B Farms sent you over there. You won't be disappointed. I'll show you guys the chicken coop that Becky and I are going to be building. You know, normally we don't use plans for anything. We just kind of wing it and put it together, and it works out okay. But in this particular case, we really like the looks of this chicken coop. There are similar builds all over YouTube, all over the internet, and this is one of the most popular plans out there. It's from Third Coast Craftsman. This is not the only thing they offer. They've got a wide variety of woodworking projects. Let me just show you what's in here real quick. You download these plans, you buy them, download them, and we just printed them off and put them in this binder. But it's got everything in here you need, including what we're working with today, the materials list. And you can see that we need 1 4x4x10 pressure treated, 2 4x4x8 pressure treated, 2 2x4x12 pressure treated, 4 2x4x8 pressure treated. So that's 9 pieces of lumber, if my math is right, and we have got 4 of those cut. So let's get back to it. We'll knock this project out and have all of our treated lumber done. So here's our next piece of utility pole. I think on this one, we're not going to do anything fancy. We're just going to cut 2x4s, just up and just get as many as we can. Pretty simple. But before we do that, yeah, look at this. This thing's got wire all over it. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's got a ground wire that runs down it. This is copper. Honestly, the blade would probably cut right through that. But these steel steeples right here, that's another story. So we're going to have to get that out of here. Plus, down here on this end, if I can get out of my own shadow, you've got all these tags. So, yeah, let's get all this metal stripped off this thing. We've got log number 3 on the mill. We need 2 8-foot 4x4s out of it. I know what you're thinking. Tony, you were just taking the metal off of log number 2 a minute ago. Where's the video of you milling that? Well, that's a really good question. I set up to record that, and about the first, I don't know, 15 seconds into that video, the GoPro decided it needed to stop and repair a file, which in GoPro speak apparently means just shutting off. So it's done that a lot lately. If you guys have any suggestions on cameras for making YouTube videos, please drop me a line down in the comments. I'd love to have another alternative. Nevertheless, we got those 2x4s cut on board, or on log number 2. Now we've got log number 3. Let's get those 4x4s knocked out, and we'll get this wrapped up. Real quick look at this. Again, I need 2 4x4s out of that, so these are nominal 4x4s, so it's going to be, you know, a little over 7 inches is what I need, and it's just barely big enough to cut that. It's really nasty down here on this end. It's all busted and splintered up. So I don't know if we're going to get a couple decent 8-footers out of that or not. I do have other utility poles over there that I could use. I've got 2 more. But they're pretty good sized. What if I need a 4x6 or even a 6x6? I'd rather save those 2 for that. So I'm going to try and get what we need out of this one right here. So hang in there, we'll see. So what did we end up with on that tiny little utility pole? Did we get our two 4x4s? We'll take a look. I've turned these so that the worst side is up. You can see the wane on this one, and then on this one here, that there's no wane, but it's just busted up. But I've got my tape measure on it. I need 8 feet. It stops right here. So I think, yeah, I think we can make those work. Well, guys, that's going to do it. The Go Pull battery is just about dead. I'm out of sweet tea, and it's 80 degrees, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I hope you were able to take something away from this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Get out, enjoy what's around you. Be nice to one another, and we'll see you on the next video.